Matty Loves Podcast. Matty Loves Podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Matty Loves Podcast. I'm your host, Matt DeSimone, joined, as always, beside me, Dr. Tom Lucas.
Ew.
So, this episode here, we want to establish the fact that obsessions are nice, as long as they're healthy.
Yeah. There's certainly good obsessions and bad obsessions.
Let's name a bad obsession. Kardashians.
I would
what
say
they're doing.
Yes, I would say that, and anything in that relative realm of culture.
Would I date their daughters? Absolutely. But that's neither here nor there. Sitting in on a conversation is probably it's probably a struggle, because I don't know how much stuff that I can really relate to the Kardashians with, you know. Hey, Kim, what happens in Uncanny X-Men 275?
How is it that they're still relevant? How did they ever become relevant? Where are we at? And Donald Trump wins Nebraska, and it looks like it's going to be a Trump-Rubio ticket that we're going to be putting Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders up against, and who's writing this comic that we live in?
Right, or comedy, tragedy, whatever it is. I don't know, but it's talking about unhealthy obsessions. Let's not talk about politics. Let's get on to the healthier obsessions. Tom and I, we often have some every once in a while that kind of take over a bit. Sometimes it's writing. Sometimes it's TV shows, books, movies, games. So right now, here we are at we're at the end of February, and I guess beginning of March. And so what, Tom, recently have you let's first talk about film. All right. Now you're a guy that can sit down and watch a movie. Just sit down and watch a movie. I'm not. I have to prepare myself for these things. I cannot just sit down and watch movies.
How do you prepare?
I don't even know. I don't even know how to describe it. I just I sit down and I have to be like, oh man, it's more kind of a spur of the moment thing. I can't just throw on Netflix and start scrolling because I want to watch a movie. I will come across a movie and be like, all right, I got an hour and 45 minutes. I'll go ahead and run this. But guaranteed an hour into that film, I'm going to be doing something else while it's going on.
Okay.
I can't just sit I can go to the theater and watch a movie.
Yeah.
Because you really can't do anything else but watch the movie. But for the most part, but for me, I can't just sit down and watch a film. And there have been movies that have come out here recently that I really want to see. I just, I have to get that moment to where I'm like, now's the time to watch Straight Outta Compton, or now's the time to watch The Martian.
Okay.
So you have seen both of these films.
Yeah.
What do you think about The Martian and Straight Outta Compton? They came out last year.
And I don't know why they took so long to kind of come around to the house. I find that I watch a lot more on Netflix streaming than anything, or Amazon, and I watch a lot less DVDs. I've even been playing around with the idea of just getting rid of the DVD service and just letting it roll.
Oh, with Netflix? Yeah.
So The Martian was something that, it interested me at several levels. First of all, the book was self-published, and it became very successful, and, was optioned and turned into the film. And one of the aspects of it that's interesting to me is that the science is sound. What happens, how he survives, the end sequence when they sort of pick him up. I'm wondering about the science there. But, one of the things that,
I think at that point in the movie that you just want him to get to, you just want him to get him. I don't think probably, and that's probably, where that comes in. It's like, well, I don't think a lot of people are going to be worried about, the science in this situation.
So, But, my understanding is that it was written from a perspective where the science is really sound. And I've always liked Matt Damon as an actor. And, this was his Castaway. And, I was kept engaged by the film the whole time. There was kind of this strange little epilogue where they sort of showed what life was like for him afterwards. He's teaching like young astronauts or whatever. He's like a lecturer or whatever. And I felt like maybe that was a little unnecessary, but when I was a kid, I thought for sure that we would be on Mars by now and be exploring the solar system, and none of that has happened. And I would really like to see us get on Mars before I leave planet Earth, but I don't know. But anyway, I thought it was a really engaging film, and the science is very grounded, no pun intended. And, so it certainly doesn't really fall under science fiction, other than, it's taking place at a point where it's our third mission to Mars. There's a fourth mission already planned. We have a small construction, station or colony, whatever you want to call it, where about 6 astronauts can do their thing. They've got a rover, they've got some stuff. So that was pretty interesting. And then Straight Outta Compton, I always like biopics. Right. I always like movies about music.
What's your favorite biopic of all time?
Oh, maybe
mine's The Doors.
The Doors. What's the Johnny Cash one?
Walk Hard?
Walk Hard?
No, Walk the Line.
Walk the Line. Walk Hard is the John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
Right? Also equally good. Spinal Tap, maybe.
Oh, well, that's a mockumentary.
I know. I thought Ray was a pretty powerful piece.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Well. I thought that
Ali was a good movie.
Ali was pretty good too, so I like a good biopic now and again. And I was in college during, end of high school, college during those years when NWA blew up, and then they started having their inner battles and lines were drawn and all that stuff. And it was,
Who was the shit stirrer? Easy?
Easy basically was kind of like, kind of on top of the deal, and everyone else was sort of at his whims, I guess. And
so he was the head.
Yeah, I
thought Dre was the head.
Yeah, no, Eazy's the one who really got the deal, and he got the deal with this guy named Jerry, who's played by Paul Giamatti.
Yes.
And so they had a deal, and then all the other guys had sort of secondary deals through that. And the way the film presents it is that Ice Cube is waiting and waiting and waiting for his contract, and when he finally gets the contract's basically bullshit. And he walks, and then Dre walks, and Suge Knight shows up, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on.
So they get into the death row shit in the movie.
Death row,
that's awesome.
Lynch mob.
Oh, that's awesome.
The whole bit.
Oh, awesome.
The whole bit.
Cool.
All the way through to the death of Eazy-E.
Oh shit, man.
So they cover him dying.
Oh wow.
And all that.
Did they show like how they think he got AIDS or whatever?
That no. But, it's made pretty clear that, he was not rapping it.
Right. Yes.
For being a rapper, he was not rapping
it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, that was most likely the deal. But the actors were well cast. They amazingly resembled.
Ice Cube's son plays Ice Cube.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, that was, I remember when I first saw the trailer, I was like...
Dead ringer,
I was
right?
like, wow, that kid, man, he sounds like him, he looks like him.
Right.
And sure enough, that's his son.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, so...
O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Yeah. So, anyway, I recommend both of those films highly. I know they're not really geekdom related or anything like that, but our previous show, which covered Deadpool and all the superhero movies,
yes,
I think definitely covered that ground. And then also I recently finished up watching The Man in the High Castle on Netflix, which is an adaptation of a Philip K. Dick novel where the Nazis win World War II, and I have to say it was really well done. I highly recommend it. I don't know the specifics as to how many seasons it signed up for or what the deal is, but it left on a bit of a cliffhanger. The production quality is excellent, and I highly recommend. What have you been checking out?
Well, let's see here. Okay, so my recent obsessions. Over Christmas, I got a record player. My brother bought me a record player. So when I came back down to Florida, I had 0 records. And now I think I've got 25, 30. I think.
Nice.
Here, let me see what I got over here.
Yeah, you've been really like working the eBay and hitting the local shops and all that kind of stuff, and you've been getting a nice variety of music as well.
Well, that's one disappointing thing down here is, big city like Orlando, you'd think there'd be a bunch of record stores. There's not. And 2, on top of that, the record stores are just overpriced. I mean, Amazon and eBay are the way to go to get vinyl at the end of the day, because you're not going to find anything less than $20 around here.
The problem with the stores is the prices reflect the fact that they never know what day is going to be the day that the dude comes in who wants that particular record.
Exactly. Or the day that dude comes in with like just a ridiculous, shitty collection of like the greatest albums that came out in the 80s, and he's just got to get rid of these records.
So it's always the case.
It's
with
a right place,
shop.
right time type of thing at those places, I think. Yeah. So I picked up just a bunch of random stuff. Kiss Killers is an album that was released overseas after Creatures of the Night came out, and during this period of time, I do believe, I think this is after Creatures, and this was right before Creatures. Ace Frehley had already left the band, but Kiss was lying to their fans, saying that he was still in the band, so they were putting his face on album covers, even though he wasn't recording shit. However, Kiss Killers is awesome because the first 2 songs on both sides were new songs, and they're great. I love all the new tracks on Kiss Killers, and then it's all just like the greatest hits the rest of the way. But I've never owned the album CD. I have all of Kiss's albums in makeup specifically.
Good boy.
On CD. So I've always wanted that, and I got it for like $10, and it's listed as 30 on here. So I don't know if it was like in a shop or something. And then I love Chicago, so I picked up I was just looking for Chicago records one day, and I picked up like the cheapest one that was like available. And this is the album. This is Chicago. I want to say it is 7. No, this is 11. This has "Baby What a Big Surprise" on it. So that was a selling point. Then we have Misfits. A buddy of mine the other day gave me one of his 2 copies of The Wall.
Yeah,
so
excellent.
I mean that's huge.
Yeah,
plays great. More Kiss. I got Dynasty.
You went on a little Dokken tear.
Oh well, I got I got Dokken's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th album for just over $15 off of eBay, and they are pristine. Like they are like mint, nearly. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I picked up Karate Kid Part 2 soundtrack.
Okay,
this was sealed as well.
You got Peter Cetera.
Peter Cetera on here. Also, the second song on here, "Rock and Roll Over You," is the song that they play in the famous ice breaking scene in the movie.
Yeah,
it's a track that I never could like find as a kid to like rip off the internet or anything. And when this song started playing I went nuts. I was like, it's on it!
So is that like workout music for you?
This is writing music,
writing
top to
music?
bottom.
Okay.
As soon as I come in that door, it's like Rocky. As soon as I walk right in, and I walk right over the record player, and I turn it on, and then I turn all the lights on.
Okay,
and everything.
Dig it.
I got Starship, Knee Deep in the Hoopla, which about 10 years ago was voted as the worst album of all time.
Stop it.
No, I'm not kidding you.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know. Oh, actually, no. We Built This City was voted as the worst song of all time, the worst written song ever. But
by who?
Yeah, some magazine.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
assholes.
This has We Built This City. It's got Sarah on it.
Yeah.
No Time Is a Good Time for Goodbye. Weezer's second album. This came a few days ago. I ordered this from Germany. Okay. I've spent the most. This is the album I spent the most money on. This ran me like $30.
Okay.
I got Dr. Dre The Chronic because I mean this was like this came in the mail with samples of Tide. To quote Wayne's World when I was a little boy.
Right.
Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. That's where I first heard that, was listening to the last track off of this album. So
that album is historical.
It is what
man.
It is. It is so good.
It's historical.
So good. And the best thing is it was one of the first albums too to where I remember, like, as a kid, I would be, like, walking down the street or, like, walking in the mall or something, and I always liked to wear my headphones or whatever, and I would be, rapping along to it, and then, a few words would pop out, and I'd just notice I, rapped it out loud, and then I look around at my surroundings, and I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that out loud.
Yeah.
I hope it's clear as day that I'm listening to music right now, not throwing out random racial slurs. But, yeah...
Yeah, just blame Tourette's. Right. When in doubt.
So I went on. I definitely went on like a Kiss kick.
Yeah,
Kiss is one of my favorite bands of all time.
Well, it's a good band to have as a favorite, I would say.
So I got Asylum. This is probably my favorite Kiss album of all time. If it's one of these two right here.
Okay, Kiss Unmasked is pretty amazing.
It's a good album. And then I got More Dokken, and then of course I've got All of Police.
Yeah.
I had to pick those guys up.
Oh, look at that! Yeah, Police.
And then I went to the United Way shop up the road.
Yeah.
Because they sell records there, and so I went through and I found a few choice cuts. I've got the orchestra and chorus of Henry Mancini.
Sure. Right? So when you want to get your
love on.
Yeah, absolutely. Your God damn, what is that show? Mad Men? Kind of a Mad Men feel,
exactly.
Right? You could put on that sharkskin suit.
I have the entire Mary Poppins original cast soundtrack.
Okay.
I just saw actually a celebration, this Disney celebration. 90-year-old Dick Van Dyke came out dancing to Step in Time. I'm like, what is going on?
That dude, man.
Crazy. That's one of those guys too, man. He's kind of like Jerry Lewis for me, Dick Van Dyke and him when I was growing up. They had a real effect on like my sense of humor.
Okay.
And what I dug, like the physical comedy.
Yeah, right.
I love the Dick Van Dyke Show. Loved Jerry Lewis and all his movies and everything.
Lady.
Yeah, right, exactly. Little Glenn Miller Orchestra. I pretty much just dialed it back.
Okay, it was a bossa nova.
Yeah, right. This right here, this Coheed and Cambria, No World for Tomorrow. I really wish that it wasn't as jammed up as it is on the cover. Because if I wouldn't have opened this, I could probably sell this for a lot of money. This is the first print. Not a lot of these prints were made. It's a double album, and the second LP is one-sided. Yeah. And that's got the keywork and everything. Yeah, this is I don't know if you've ever listened. Have you ever listened to Coheed and Cambria before?
I've seen them live, too.
Really?
Yeah, I saw them at a festival down in Miami years ago, and they're kind of an acquired taste.
Definitely. This was given to me as a gift. I mean, I'm a big fan of their early work. I just really haven't been a big fan so much of the stuff that they've done in their past couple albums.
I didn't really deeply connect with it, but I do respect the
story, man.
The story, and also the fans. Mm-hmm. Many of my friends are fans, and I got respect for that.
And then I got Weezer albums. This Red album is cool because it's the friggin' red vinyl, you know. And
can't really do that with the CD.
Yeah, no, and I'd never popped this open until I got the record player, and then once I opened it and I saw it was the red vinyl, I was like, why did I open this? I was like, damn it, I really wish I hadn't, because I'm treating these kind of like comic books.
Yeah, sure.
You know, the first Weezer album. Okay, then I've got the Doors Soft Parade.
Soft Parade, sure.
All right, this is the original print of this.
Stop it.
No
it
barcode.
Is not.
No barcode, man. Oh, this is original. This is first print. Feel how heavy this is.
How much did you pay for that?
I didn't pay for any of it. This guy that used to live down like a couple doors over, the bulldozer that I used to tell you about. Yeah, man. Like he like left a couple records over here one day, and they moved. And until he says, Matt, you still got my records, I'm gonna be like,
like the corners are creased, so you're like screwed on that. But I mean, just having this is like museum.
And I looked online. If I'm gonna find the Soft Parade, I'm gonna pay at least $40 for a shit copy of it. All right, and this is the other one that he left over here. Mother Earth's Plantasia, warm earth music for plants and the people who love them. This is grooming music, Tom.
Yeah.
Comes with a book.
Right.
Okay. So when you listen to these songs, it tells you exactly what you should be doing.
Okay.
I mean, it's just...
You couldn't be any more hippy-dippy than that. It is a Mother Earth pressing, too.
Yeah.
Which is... you know, when we went through my mother's vinyl collection, which became my vinyl collection, one of the things that was a real treat was like every vinyl if it had a book, the book was still in it. If it came with a poster, the poster was still in it. Like, you know, the REO Speedwagon fan club form was still in it. You know,
that's really key. And when I buy my Kiss records, I have to have like everything in there.
Yeah,
and it's going to be expensive.
Right.
Like that Dynasty, that cost me like $22, but that Dynasty also has the full-on poster.
Killer,
inside. Man. Steely Dan.
Let me ask you, have you gotten through this album?
I've listened to it multiple times.
Really?
Oh, it's awesome. Man.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Do you feel like Swamp Thing?
No, I feel like I'm watching Sesame Street.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. When we get done recording before you dip, I'll throw it on and you can hear like one of the tracks and you'll be like, oh, all right. Steely Dan. It's one of my dad's favorite bands growing up. And became one of mine just because he's just...
Do you know the origin of their name?
Of course I do.
Okay.
Of course I do.
Yes,
but this is a family show, kind of, so...
Well, yeah.
Just Google it, folks.
It's not like Deadpool.
Yeah.
Not R-rated.
More Steely Dan.
Yeah. I once worked with a sound engineer that said that Steely Dan was what he used to calibrate all his equipment.
That makes sense.
Right, so...
I'm pretty sure that if I went into the music department, you know, up the street, and I was like, hey, how many of you guys like grew up listening to Steely Dan? All the engineers would probably raise their hand and be like, yeah.
Right. Now, you have the soundtrack to the horror film It Follows.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. On vinyl.
Wow.
I think
We've talked about the film on the show.
Yes.
Because hands down, one of the best horror films I've seen in years.
It was one of my inspirations as a writer since I have been down here. Like when Ferraro was talking about it and said I might need to check it out. And I mean, I saw it soon thereafter. And then I know with movies, I know with films if I'm into it, because the way I've always been is if I'll watch it once, I'll like put it down and then I'll just fire it up again. Yeah. And that's what I did with It Follows. I watched that thing backwards and forwards, man. I love it.
Also, too, like, you know, Detroit Pride, man. They shot it in Detroit.
Yeah. They don't say it's Detroit.
They don't.
But for someone like you,
bro,
it's a home team.
The second from the first shot, I'm like, this has got to be Detroit. And I'm like Googling. Yeah. You know, I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Striper.
Yeah, to close out the stack. Yeah, so this was actually up on my bookshelf. Just been sitting. I loved Striper when I was a kid. Okay, so I met all my best friends through this youth group back home, and it's just so funny how I met. You know, it's like you always
like
meet,
a church group.
You always meet your most interesting friends you end up partying with.
Right.
At church.
Right.
So anyway, I met them there, and you know, there we couldn't like down in the basement, you know, of this church listen to like Metallica or whatever, you know. So we were like, well, what's the next best thing that is like non-secular and just rocks? And then this one dude that worked there was like, you ever listen to the band Striper? I used to listen to him all. He was an older guy. He's like, I used to listen to him all the time when I was a kid. Oh man, that was it. Striper.
Since Christmas, since getting your turntable, you've got the beginnings of a fine vinyl collection. There's some classic stuff in there. There's some surprises. We will definitely have to hit the United Way Center together sometime in the near future. Also, too, I believe the bookstore at the downtown Orlando Library has a little vinyl. Yeah, here and there.
Interesting.
So you've got that going, and then you surprised me the other month. I came over here, and there were Hot Wheels tracks.
Oh, yeah.
Laid out.
Yep.
I have across the apartment.
I have a 6-lane drag strip that stretches almost the entire length of my apartment. I could make it longer if I wanted to.
It's fun being a grown-up. You can make choices like this, right?
You know what? It was probably a couple weeks ago when I was like having some sort of like contemplative moment, and looking back on the time I've spent down here in Florida. And, I swear in the past 2 years, I have lived my life how I dreamed of living my life at like 15.
Yeah.
As far as like, I got comic books everywhere. I got a big TV. I've got video games. I got a Hot Wheels track. I do what I want. I'm grown, You eat
a bag of cookies for dinner if you want to.
Exactly. And, and in looking at it like that, overall from the work I've put in and everything, just that alone, I'm like, well, that is just great. That's...
Should I just kill you now?
No. We don't need to do that. But so yeah, I live like a big kid down here, if you guys didn't know. It's probably also why I'm single right now still. But be that as it may, chicks can't handle the geek sometimes or don't understand it. But yeah, I a couple of my buddies at work, we one day actually a couple of them they randomly went out to Toys R Us. They bought about 8 cars. They bought a few pieces of track and a ramp and made like a little
shenanigans ensued.
Made like a little ramp over my buddy's place, and the next day they're all talking about it, and I'm like, wait, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
You're playing with toys, you're doing stuff that I did, when I was like 9. So I go over there, they're like, yeah, just get some cars and you can come over and play. So I went and I got 5 cars and brought it over there, and it turned into us making stats, and we have champions and we have points and all this other kind of stuff. But I went from those 5 cars that day to...
What is it at now?
Well, this case holds 100.
100.
Yeah. So needless to say,
God bless you.
I've done pretty well. It's gonna be kind of loud, probably.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
the case doesn't really allow for ginger care of the vehicles, does it?
No, but if you see how we race these things, we're not really caring for these things too gingerly either.
Yeah, I think the era when they were truly collectible may have passed. Anyway.
Yeah, because now, I think back in the day they always did a bunch of different kinds of redesigns and everything, but now from what I can tell, most of the cars they put out are all repurposed. It's like...
Look, I pulled the DeLorean out, first shot. You got a couple of DLs, right?
DeLorean.
And then you've got the Back to the Future DeLorean over there.
I got the Back to the Future one's the one on my... my stand, and then I've got...
And then you've got initials.
Well, that's just the MD. That's just to say that it's my car.
Okay.
But we've also got names for every single car we race.
Yeah.
And we race well over 100 cars, and we know all of them.
You know what this reminds me of is when I first got down to Florida in 2003, at the supermarket and vending machines, they used to sell these little cartoony homies.
Yes.
The homies. Yeah. I had all of them.
Wow.
I had a full-on homies collection and all the little accoutrements and all that. And I had them on display. Eventually ended up giving them to a student. When it was time to when my interest had waned,
right?
Wow, so you've got 3 DeLoreans.
Yeah.
Here.
I got 4 counting the one over there.
That one. So,
but these are the fastest cars too.
Right.
Ironically enough, these 2 cars right here, I mean, they have won me championships.
Yeah. Good. Do you have names for the drivers?
Yeah, I got names for all of them. That's Doc, that's Einstein, and that's Marty.
Okay.
This is Tia Carrera because it's a Porsche Carrera.
Okay.
When I got this set, it came in a pack of 5. I named all 5 of those cars after Goonies characters. So this is Data.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like there's Mouth, Danica, Regal, because it's got the British flag on the side, and William Regal's a pro wrestler and he's from England.
Right.
This white one and black one here, we call it Stormtrooper because Stormtrooper is white and black. And then I got like these 3 cars here. They're all the same. They're all the same model. They're just different colors.
Right.
And I named them off of Top Gun guys. So I got Slider, Maverick, and Goose.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I mean, you know,
where do you go from here? You've got a case that holds 100 cars.
Uh-huh.
You've got the tracks and all that. Are you going to move up to slot cars?
Oh, like
you can move up to electric.
Well, it's funny. My mom
can move up to RC.
My dad, when I was a kid, used to always tease my mom and saying, "I'm gonna get Matt a car, and we're gonna go driving out at Natural Bridge and get him on the track." And Mom was like, "No, you're not."
Yeah.
You know? When I was a kid, I didn't really realize how awesome that would have been if I would have just pushed my dad and been like, "I want to be a race car driver."
Right. Yeah.
You know, but I didn't really think about it like seriously. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, we had agreed, and it's kind of partially our own doing too. I told myself 100 is going to be my limit. I'm not at 100 cars quite yet. I'm almost there.
Yeah.
But that's the X-Wing. That came with the Death Star.
Okay.
And that was like the shittiest set I bought so far.
Yeah.
But
where's the Death Star?
The Death sits in a box in a closet. It's crap. It's made out of paper. It's garbage. It was $5, and I bought it because I wanted the car, and that car is crappy too.
Yeah.
But once I get to 100 cars, I'm gonna be good. I think another reason too, 100 cars is gonna be good is because out of all the new cars coming out for 2016, between me and my buddy Pete, we have almost everything model wise. Now, as far as paint schemes go, no. But as far as all the model cars they put out in the past 2 years, we pretty much got it covered.
Yeah.
We've got about every model Mustang, every model Corvette.
Where do you go to purchase your vehicles?
I usually go. Well, the other day actually, I found this one. This is one. This Porsche I've been looking at on eBay for, and I was gonna pay like $3 for it, but they're 94 cents at Walmart.
Okay.
And so we went to the Wall because we raced the other afternoon, and so we went out to Walmart to see what they had, and they had this and a couple other cars that I'd been wanting to pick up that I'd seen online. So I usually go to Walmart. The Target next door to me doesn't really stock theirs very often. The Walmart out in Oviedo is loaded down with Hot Wheels.
Yeah,
they just have a shitload, but I mean, it's all like the same
Somebody
shit.
knows what they're doing, huh?
Yeah, so, you know, it started out with like the whole racing thing. You know, I wanted to get the cars to race, but here recently I've just been buying cars because I thought they looked cool.
Yeah.
You know, so I haven't gotten to the point to where I'm like, okay.
Wait, how can you know how they're going to perform until you get it on the track?
Basically, from what because I've been racing for the past couple months and racing different kinds of cars, I know what cars are fast. Mm-hmm. Like Pete's track, it's just a ramp shot off of a bar, hit another ramp, fall on another ramp. Closest one that slides to the wall, you know, is safe. The furthest one from the wall is eliminated. Okay, so we'll do 30 cars. We'll do round by round. We'll eliminate 5 until we get to a top 10. Then we'll do 2 until we get to the top 4, and then it's single elimination.
Okay.
But here, we just do the straight-up drag strip. There's more of a formal way of racing when you come to the MDGP. PCGP over there, it's chaos. It's a demolition derby.
Okay.
Here, it's a lot more organized, so to speak. So, but yeah, and then I found myself like just sitting by myself running cars and everything.
Yeah.
And I kind of hit the brakes on it for a bit because there's better things that I could be doing than writing short stories, like writing short stories and whatever. Than just sitting here by myself and racing my Hot Wheels cars,
like Howard Hughes in his solitude. Last days.
Well,
right?
well, a lot of people like. I've gotten you're like the 40-year-old virgin from a lot of people down here.
Oh, that's a load of crap.
Well, obviously because I've had sex before. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah.
But also I know that's not the case. But if you come into my apartment, you definitely, I think, get a little bit of a vibe of oh, this is a grown boy.
Oh, well, you know what? At age 46, going on 47, I'm not finding a whole lot of great things to say about adulthood.
No.
For the most part, anyway. It appears to mainly consist of me going to my mailbox and opening up envelopes and people asking me for money. And so I go to a job, which I'm fortunate to have a job that I love, but... I basically go to the job so that I can put money in envelopes to send back to the people who sent me those envelopes. And that appears to be that. Also worrying that one day I'll find out that I have some kind of fatal disease.
Of course.
And I'll be dead in a year. So there's also that. So I say... race those cars.
Live it. Man. That's what I'm saying.
That kind of thing.
I am having a blast, and I don't I can and I'm also glad to come down here and find people that like to do similar things,
right.
So but before we wrap up here real quick.
We've only got about 5 minutes left. So what do you want to wrap about?
Well, I mean, we got to talk about, like, we've talked about each of us, obsessing over specific things. One thing that the both of us are into, well, me still, maybe not you so much over the past week or so.
Well, just for the last week, I been laying off it, and I really blew it because you get a reward if you log in 30 days straight.
You do.
And I'm not going to get that.
Yes. So we are talking about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. It's an app. It's turn-based action. There's no story. You're just building up a tank squad to take out, other people with energy bars. And, and the best thing that you can do is get through the battle with every single guy still alive.
Yeah. The fun of it is that it has characters from, the Clone Wars series, the movies, and you can collect these characters and build them, and and have your fun. And it's a free app. There's no reason to spend money on this game.
Absolutely not.
It's a complete game.
Yeah. Even if you spend money on it, it costs you sometimes, because you could spend money with the chance of getting XYZ.
Right. The money doesn't guarantee you anything at all. So, and the money that they ask for is fairly ridiculous.
$49.99 for a
character.
A character, and you don't know who you're getting.
Yeah.
It says there's a chance
Kylo
you could
Ren
get
or Finn.
Or Finn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who the fuck wants Finn?
Yeah. Sorry, Finn.
I'm sorry. You don't want Finn.
Hopefully you do something awesome in the next film.
You want Kylo Ren, but Ventress is one of my favorite characters from the Clone Wars show. It was cool to get her.
She's kind of not that good, though.
Yeah.
She's kind of not that good.
Yeah.
And I spent up to get her, too. I got her. I've leveled her up now to where she's on, gear level 4, almost gear level 5. She's doing a decent amount of damage, 1,700 worth. So she would be good in, a team battle.
Who are you finding to be your most high-powered characters?
I have Darth Sidious, who is one of the characters in the game that you have to play for a month before you can build up enough shit to get. The biggest surprises for me has been Qui-Gon Jinn. He is just he's awesome.
Yeah.
Guaranteed assisted attacks with one of his attacks. It's huge. It's not there's not a percentile. It is guaranteed.
Right.
When he lays in, you're gonna get a bonus attack. Biggs Darklighter. the X-Wing pilot, is kind of similar in the same way. He's got one of those percentage assists, but he's kind of sort of like the IG-86, to where he's like the Jedi IG-86.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that Luminara Unduli is pretty good as far as like a healer goes. But basically, folks, the way this game works is you have a team up to 5 people that you can put up against another group of 5 people. You can either go through like levels to where there's like stage 1 and there's like 9 different fight scenarios. You get through that, you move on to stage 2. But when you go into stage 2, it unlocks the hard level of stage 1.
Right.
So in order to go back through the hard level of stage 1, that's where you unlock things called shards. These shards, you get unlock characters once you get a certain amount, and each character has a certain amount of shards that you need. So you basically build a team. There's different classes of characters as far as like the way they are in combat.
Attacker, healer, tank.
Yeah, exactly. Simple stuff. Your basic stuff right there. And then you basically kind of just formulate a team that is like has like 1 or 2 of each, but you don't want to have a team that's all tanks.
Right.
You don't want to have a team that's all healers, because your healers, they don't hit you hard.
Right.
You know, your tanks might not hit you that hard either.
Right.
But like
especially that Imperial Guard, man.
He's horrible.
It's like he smacks people with a glove.
Yeah. There's a couple characters that they call tanks in this game, and they're not tanks at all. I don't know. The only tank in this game is Chewbacca, and he is insane.
I keep building my Chewbacca up.
Yeah, where are you on your gear levels right now with Chewbacca? Because I'm about.
I think he's 5.
I'm about ready to unlock 6 on mine.
Yeah, he's. I always put time into Chewbacca. I don't think there will ever be a time that I roll a light side team with Chewbacca not as my tank. You know, I picked up some other stuff that's cool though. But maybe we can talk a little bit more Galaxy of Heroes next time as well.
For sure. You
know, because it is basically rolling in about that time. Who knows what we'll talk about next?
For sure. Well, I mean, I guess that's going to do it here at Matty Loves Podcast.
See, you know, Matty got distracted because he started playing the game.
Yep.
So we got to let this guy get to it. He's crafting gear and leveling up, and I'm supposed to go work now.
Ugh.
Yeah, I got to go. It's a short lecture though. It's the 2-hour.
Yeah.
It's the last day lecture, and they have a self-directed activity. So.
Oh, cool. Well, I will leave you to go and expand some young minds. I myself am going to beat the shit out of the New Jersey Devils on NHL 16 because I don't have any homework to do tonight.
Look out! No homework.
No homework. I mean, I do have. I gotta edit. I gotta edit a story.
Yeah, you gotta edit a story. I have a story I have to write still.
Yep, you do.
And
Tom, you have like 3 that you need to write.
Yeah. Yeah, and
3 that I know you need to write.
What? Okay, so the Cyborg one, and what are the other 2?
Well, I really think that you need to visit PAX.
Oh, yeah.
In kind of a Potter Norn sort of way, to where maybe you don't tell a PAX story, but you tell of a character in the PAX universe.
Okay, sure.
And it'd be like, 1,500, 3,000 words. Just a little companion.
Yeah,
right. And then I think that there are more letters. Too.
Yeah.
I think that there's more letters, leathers, I should say.
I know.
I always get that confused.
Right.
And I just think that, it might spark up some new ideas that they don't have anything to do with some of your old stuff. By the way, folks, Leather to the Corinthians and Pax Titanus, both available on Amazon books.
Yes, they are.
And they're written by Dr. Tom Lucas.
Indeed.
I don't think we've mentioned that in the past few episodes, but folks, go on Amazon and check out some of his shit. You can read some of it for free, right?
Yeah, and then you'll know exactly what you're in for.
Right, exactly. Exactly. I reviewed PAX. I should have gave it a 5-star review, but I only gave it a 4 because I'm your friend, and I didn't want to be just a friend that gives 5-star reviews to his friends.
Dude, that's like solid as far as I'm concerned. And also too,
it's a 5, folks. Don't get me wrong. It's a 5.
Using a star system to
dumb
to rank a book any kind of artistic work is really weird.
That's like saying before you start the post, it's like Facebook that used to say, "How are you feeling?"
Right?
You know, Matt is feeling angry. Here's my review for Pax Titanus.
Right.
It's
exactly.
I get, but you know what? It seems like the star system is the only thing they can come up with that's like, works.
Yeah. The only one that I ever saw that was better was there was a little college paper out of Kalamazoo. I can't remember the name of it, but the music section, they would rank a record 1 to 4 Beatles or a Yoko.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, see, that is smart.
Yeah.
Right? That's smart.
That's
man.
fun. That's fun. So, anyway, this was a 4 Beatles show as far as I'm concerned.
Always. And that is going to do it for us. It's Matty Loves Podcasts. We're here pretty much every week, every Friday. So come check us out. Stick around. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Again, go visit Tom's shit on Amazon.
And you know what? If you're just starting to listen to the show now, Matt's going to have a lot more time on his hands in about 2 months. And I expect this show to go through some pretty interesting and awesome changes. Maybe possibly. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I've already kind of been expanding a little bit. I did the Matty Loves Comics, and I didn't get around to doing that this week. But, I might get back on that and let you know the comic books that I'm reading week to week, because I'm still one of the few people on Earth that do that. But anyway, for Dr. Tom, I'm Matt DeSimone. Folks, we will see you again next week on Matty Loves Podcast.
Matty Loves Podcast. Matty Loves Podcast.